Oh. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Nice to see you. Good to be seen. There you go. A little sippy sip. A little sip on the old Kofsky. I think we're back on YouTube now. No? Are we streaming live on YouTube? Are we back, boys?
Yeah, I believe so.
We're talking about NyQuil chicken for a while. Are we back on the YouTube? We back on the old YouTube ski?
Don't know if we are. Don't know if
we're on.
Yeah, we are.
Should be. Oh, yeah.
By the way, everybody, it wasn't, I found out afterwards, it wasn't me. You guys had me thinking all fucking week last week that I was the reason we got yanked from YouTube. And then Rook came clean and said it wasn't you. It was the video we played of the guy preparing NyQuil chicken. And I thought it was because I was on the podcast going, listen, why are we against this? This is helping the gene pool.
I don't think you helped. Let's just say that.
Let's just say
I'm also against all warning labels. Get rid of all of them. If you're stupid enough to eat Tide Pods, that's on you. That's on you, Barry.
Yep.
Right?
And Terry. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And Barry and Terry's stupid kids. Yep. I saw one the other day. It was like, I got a pizza because we ordered pizza from a pizza place. I won't say which one because they're not paying us. And it was like,
Red Swan.
Like, please open box before you eat the pizza. And I'm like, right on.
Seriously.
Because someone has done that, right? Like, that's why they put the warning on. Same reason why they put the warning label on hair dryers is like, do not operate this in the bathtub. I'm like, okay.
Okay, shit. I forgot to pair my whatchamacallit. Can I do it now?
You can still do it.
Yeah, you can still do it. Do it now. Anyway, nice to see you guys. Lachlan's back at Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise.
How do I do that?
I'm watching him navigate the tech here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I just turned it on.
My favorite part when Lach tries to figure out tech stuff is when he starts talking to himself. He's like, well, that's, no, I'm going to go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, fuck this thing. And
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
There we go.
I'm paired.
All right. You're paired up.
You one of those guys that drives up to you see somebody through glass and while you're mouthing the words, you say them like you whisper while you're talking.
Yeah.
My wife quite often will point out that I talk to myself.
Yeah.
She goes, "You're talking to yourself again."
You do it all the time.
I do it all the time.
Yeah, you do.
Out loud.
Yeah, it's really funny too because it's like you're working on a problem that you're having with yourself while you're having a conversation with somebody else in the middle of a live podcast. It actually is somewhat brilliant.
I'm rehearsing conflict situations.
Do you ever do that? I used to do that all the time.
Learn that in anger.
I'd be driving home when I was married. This is literally rehearsing conflict situations. I can't believe you just brought that up because I used to do it all the fucking time. By the way, Alex David-Bekoff standing by live in Ukraine, waiting for us to get through this horse shit. But we will get to it in just a second because he's been literally shit posting the Pope and Elon Musk all morning long. So we got that.
I think the fame's getting to his head.
Yeah. He's Alex now. He's Alex from CNN. Alex from Canada. He's like, fuck you, Pope. I'm like, I love that guy so much. Anyway, we've got Alex coming up in just a second. But to your point, I used to practice that all the time. I would like be on my way home from work and I'd be driving in my car and I'm like, I'm wondering what my wife is mad at me about. And I'm like, I'd be sitting there rehearsing the argument, trying to figure out what the anger might be when I get home. And I would catch myself usually halfway home going like this. You're just fucking stupid too. And then 5 minutes later, be like, oh, yeah, well, I never loved you. In my car, by myself. Like, for no reason at all. You laugh because you guys do the exact same fucking thing. Where
really
like,
do.
Deb, we're not buying that couch, Deb. Not buying the couch. And there's no one else in the car with you, right? There's no one else in the car.
Why is the fucking laundry still in the dryer? Yeah. You're right.
Anyway,
that's a common one in my house. My wife will like literally, and I'll remind her too. You got to flip the laundry. You got to, honey.
Oh, the laundry?
Just before you go to bed. No one
likes it when it smells like shit. Like if you leave the laundry in for too long, it gets mildewy.
I'll get up. I'll come home from work the next day, walk in the laundry room, sitting in there, like just stewing in a big pile of wetness.
Yeah. And then there's you going, I told you should fucking turn the laundry. But there's no one else around.
Yelling at his underwear.
Yeah. Yelling at your wife. She's like 20 miles away at work. You're like, I fucking told you this yesterday, you know. And if someone came in the room, they'd be like, you need help, dude. Like you need to talk to somebody. Anyway.
I would agree with them.
Excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, have been over the weekend. But Good news. We've got a big announcement coming up a little later on in the show. We'll get to that in just a second. We've got some
COVID?
major. No. Sick, though.
Ashley's sick.
Yeah, I know. We're going to talk about that. Ashley's sick. That's a big weekend for you. Not only did your wife get the vid finally after dodging it for 3 years, you got in a bit of a bender, bit of a traffic accident. We'll chat about that a little bit. We got some Elon Musk news. We've got big Luke Skywalker news here. Big.
Mm-hmm.
Like the kind of Luke Skywalker news you'd hear someone say, you'd be like, Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill. I'm like, yeah, he's a friend of mine now. So anyway, no, but it's a big deal. Anyway,
yeah,
I got news about my friend Luke coming up in a minute.
I don't think it's a very fucking big deal.
Yeah,
it's pretty
get into it.
No, just shitting all over it the whole time.
Leafs Oilers are back. Locke has no idea what's going on anywhere outside of his house. We'll talk about that a little later on today as well. Twitter has an edit button, but first we go live to Irpin, Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of Ukraine.
Bring him in.
For his people. 6'1", 195 pounds. He's a right-handed battler who spends his days interviewing people for jobs they don't want and feeding people that are hungry around the general vicinity, documenting war crimes. Please welcome back to the show, Alex.
Probably
Rebecca.
Fresh from shitposting the Pope.
You were on a fucking heater today, Alex.
What did you say to the Pope, Alex? What did you tell the Pope?
Yeah,
I said that he has no idea about what is going on. I almost said to him, "Shut up."
Let me put it up here. Popeski launches this bad boy today, Pope Francis, who doesn't have any fucking clue what's going on. Keep in mind, before we get to this is the same Pope, Alex.
All his letters are upside down.
Couple of months. No, that's Russian language. You're the king. Okay,
no wonder you told him
this
to
is the
shut
same
up.
jackhammer.
All your letters are upside down, you dummy.
This is the same religious jackhammer that was like, the Ukrainian people were like, can you please come to the Ukraine to comfort the Catholics? And he's like, my knee is fucking killing me. I don't think I'm going to make it to today. So everybody's jumping on I think it's a concerted Russian effort. And Alex, I'll get to you in just a sec. But this is what the Pope tweeted. Let's let the negotiations begin, capable of leading to solutions that are not imposed by force, but are agreed and just stable, based on respect for human life, as well as sovereignty, the territorial integrity of each country, as well as the rights of minorities. What a fucking tone-deaf dick.
No
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, what'd you make of that shit?
Yeah, he has no clue, really. He has no clue. He posted several messages of the same kind, and I guess the latest one was a little closer to the truth. The latest one was more or less okay. He was just like, I was actually addressing the president of Russian Federation. So why didn't you say that before? Just say directly, I'm addressing Putin. Stop the war. Get out of Ukraine. And then let the negotiations start.
Point.
Yeah, I mean, it seems pretty simple, right? Like, and that's the thing. Yeah. That's what amazes me about him too. Like, we'll get to Elon in just a second. He's a fucking village idiot, even though he's a genius and he's got all the money and all the rockets and stuff. But that guy is like, you know, a huge portion of Ukraine is Catholic. There's so many Catholics that live in the Ukraine, in Ukraine. That worship him, that need him, that get strength from him, that pray to him for guidance. And he just basically was like, you know, let the chips fall where they may. Let's all kind of try to figure it out. And this is after these fucking goons and terrorists invaded your country and tortured and killed all your people after stealing a whole bunch of land about 8-9 years ago. So that's got, I mean, you know, not only is it fucking tone deaf. Yeah, they're still at it. I mean, they're not going anywhere. And then, you know what I find funny is that not even the Pope is like, he's afraid of Twitter too. He's afraid of his reputation because he's like, whoa, I was just talking actually to the Russian guy. Sorry, I should have made that clear, but I didn't. But that's got to piss you off, right? I mean, all the outsiders telling you that you know now's the time to negotiate when you're gaining so much land and you're getting your land back and you're winning the war.
Yeah, when we are absolutely clear, we're not going to negotiate anything now. We will clean our land, and then we will negotiate. And just like Zelensky said yesterday, we will negotiate with a different president.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the way to go, though, right?
Yeah.
Reading a lot of political journalists, columnists, and writers that were saying that there's nobody that can actually foresee a possible future even after the war with him at the helm. Like it's impossible to navigate. So.
Yeah. And actually, what happened within just the past week is fantastic. It just, I mean, like a couple days ago, I felt like we are living in the time when the events are happening so rapidly, like never before. Mm-hmm. Well, especially for us here in Ukraine, but even for those who are far away, just like you guys, but you follow the news. Even for those who don't follow the news, it's still like it is such a rapid and dramatic change within just days. And it will continue happening like this really, really rapidly, because the counteroffensive that happened within the past week and all the fake referenda and the annexation and the concert at the Red Square, this stupid concert with Putin speaking like Hitler or trying to speak like Hitler. That was like, this is amazing. And then Zelensky coming out and saying, okay, we're applying for NATO, which was a complete surprise for many Ukrainians, at least, and I believe for many in the world as well. So it's like, and the advances are continuing like as we speak. Today I saw a news as of yesterday morning, and this news is already outdated.
Seriously.
It's just happening so fast.
It's so fast. It's just really amazing.
The interesting thing that I find now is that the tone is really, really shifted. And I think President Zelensky has a lot more pull now than he had before. He has name recognition around the world, and he's using it, and he's using it. He's wielding that power to the benefit of the people of Ukraine, and I think that's a positive for Alex, for you, and for everybody in the situation that you're in right now, because he doesn't beat around the bush. No. Like, I got the sense that it was the NATO thing was a request, but it was also not. The way it was presented when I saw it, it was a little bit of and we're applying for NATO with the expectation that this process will be expedited because it fucking needs to be done. Like, that's the underlying tone of it. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the benefit of the recognition, the name recognition that he has now, is he can pull his dick out and wave it around a bit and go, no, let's get this done. Right. And he's doing that. Yeah. So I think it's good. I think that's the next logical step. Everyone's talking about the saber rattling and all that bullshit. Well, you know what? Let's put an end to it. Let's fucking put you in NATO and get these dicks out of there for good. Right. Mm-hmm. And then maybe the saber rattling will stop a little bit, because everyone's sitting in the West going, I mean, there's a lot of balking in North America right now.
Yeah, all that shit. Yeah. We're arguing about that stuff. Sorry, Ryan, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that, and the West is running out of artillery and weapons to send. They're saying they're coming up with some shortfalls for the requests that Ukraine has been giving them. And if there's anything in 8 months, it's like a job. It's like a job interview. If you haven't proved yourself to NATO to be a very competent nation to stand on your own, why wouldn't you want Ukraine in your arsenal of countries? It would be a no-brainer at this point.
Yeah. Can I add something to the request? Because I thought this was kind of funny. And again, this is me totally pulling this out of my ass. It's complete and total speculation. But there was some guy on that was an expert, military expert on the CNN panel, and he was going, well, they're asking for these trucks that can shoot this distance, and really they don't need them because they're in much close quarter combat. And I'm like, well, Zelensky wants to start firing at them like fucking into their own country. Don't you get it? That's why he wants that shit that shoots 50 miles, because he wants to haul up and start firing at fucking gas plants and shit. Like that's what's going on now, right? And I'm like, that's why they keep requesting for the long range arsenals, guys.
Yeah, they're gonna get a submarine loaded with Tomahawk nukes pretty soon. It's like just in case, right? But getting back to your point, Alex, you talked about how fast things were going, and you talked about NATO. Explain to me the feeling when they announced that they had subscribed to join NATO, and that process was going to be expedited. First of all, like, what is because we don't get it here. We're just NATO people. Oh fuck, we're in NATO. It's a nice thing, whatever. But what is that to you?
Well, from what I know, the process, the typical process, is very long. Yeah, it may last for years, sometimes decades. In the case of Sweden and Finland, when did they apply? Did they apply in April or May? Whatever. Yeah. But by now, only 2 countries are left that didn't vote yet: Turkey and Hungary. Hungary is a big problem because they are the closest Russian friends. So even if just Hungary refuses to adopt Finland or Sweden, we are done. So it's not ideal. So overall, this is a very complicated and lengthy process. I don't know what kind of expedited process. I heard about it, that this kind of special process is being developed now. I know that Zelensky and the Ukrainian authorities have done some preparatory work. Of course, it wasn't just like, okay, Zelensky came up with this idea and came out and said, okay, we are joining now NATO. Of course, there have been some negotiations before. What I think will be now, of course, we will not be adopted to NATO. 10 countries, and those are the closest neighbors, like Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, Romania, Czech, Poland, have already said that they are welcoming Ukraine into NATO, but just 10 countries. Others are not saying anything. The US already said that, okay, they were kind of cold about the idea. So everybody else will be also kind of cold. So we will not be accepted into NATO now. But after we kick out all the Russian troops, clean the country, that's when it's the great moment to get into NATO. NATO will probably welcome us at that point.
Yeah.
And that's the security we will get already without any war happening on our territory. That's what I think. We'll see how it will happen.
So it's going to be a process, and there are a bunch of different steps that have to happen first. And I like the idea that you're like, hey, listen, yeah, we're going to join NATO. Yeah, it's great news, but we need to whoop some ass before this whole thing happens. And whoop some ass you are doing. Let me just show you. This is in the last week. You sent this to me this morning. This is the gains of the map in the last week. Look at that shit. Did you guys see that stuff? Let me play this for you one more time. This is Russian occupied, and that's in the last week. Like, that's literally happening and going on right now. This is Lyman. I think I'm saying that, or Lyman. Lyman, am I saying that right?
Lyman.
Yeah.
Thank you. You're going to have to help me, and I mean no disrespect if I fuck up the names in that country. I apologize. Our language looks very different than the Ukrainian language. Very different. So, Lyman, as I understand it, is an incredibly important area. That's the area we just showed you on the map. And that area was taken by Putin in a referendum where 98% of the people just sat and stuffed ballots, and people were forced to gunpoint to go and help stuff ballots. Bullshit referendum, bullshit annexation of all that occupied territory. What I find fascinating is that he has annexed territory where all his guys have fucking bugged out from. Kherson, Lyman, Kharkiv, Donbass, Donetsk. I mean, there are so many different areas where you guys have pushed back and taken back significant swaths of land in something that is ongoing right now. Speak to me a little bit about Lyman and why that area is specifically important. As I understand it, all the supply routes from the north come through that area, correct? Is that why, like, it's a choking off of supply routes, and something like 25,000 Russian troops are like trapped in that area, if I'm not mistaken?
Train system too, or something.
That's less amount. There was from 2 to 5,000 in Lyman alone, and there was a track. And Lyman was an important forepost for further attack to Kharkiv, which actually was done in 1942 by the Soviet army. They did the same thing from Lyman to Kharkiv. They tried to attack specifically from Lyman. So it is a very important place and has been an important place before. And they tried to keep it. and the Ukrainian army was very wise and smart. And they just encircled them basically in hours. It was happening like in the morning. I heard the first news that they are being encircled. And by the evening, they are like, okay, they are encircled. And the next day, I think it was the day before yesterday, I guess, Zelensky announced. Yeah, it was on Sunday. Okay, so it was yesterday actually. Zelensky announced, okay, it's completely deoccupied. So it happened within 1 day, basically 1.5 days, encircled and deoccupied.
And how long did it take for Russia to take Lyman? Like, it took them weeks to take that area, correct?
I can't remember how it was, but some of the cities they were taking for months.
Yes.
Like Mariupol, it took like 3 months to take Mariupol. I think 11,000 Russians were died by attacking Mariupol, and 11,000 because we had super warriors, Kyborgs in Mariupol who defended, and they were like 2,500 people.
This is the area we're talking about. This is Lyman. This is now this is the area that's apparently like Kharkiv. This is how you get up into that area. This is where, as you can see, Ukrainian controlled, Rashist controlled. I love how they say Rashist controlled. Contested areas. These are contested. These are no longer contested. These cities are fully. And I was watching some really fucking incredible videos. This is the Donetsk region. It is all under Ukrainian rule now, like that entire Donetsk region. So when you get into Luhansk and Lysychansk, they're saying that those cities are next, and that could be a matter of days, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay, if you show it again, let me comment a bit.
Please.
Talking of how fast the things are developing, this is already outdated. Look at this Kreminna, the red in the middle, right in the middle, Kreminna. Yeah. Now this is the place where the Russian troops retreated to, and the Ukrainians actually broke through the front line in the middle, and they went all the way to the place approximately where the flags are, where the Ukrainian flag is. So they the Ukrainian troops already control the highway from north to Kreminna. So it is the news as of like a couple hours ago. And Borova on the left, you see Borova, where the black dot. That is already deoccupied. It is now Ukrainian territory.
This is from this morning, dude. This map is from like this morning at 8 o'clock in the morning. And now what you're saying is that the Ukrainian people have whooped the ass all the way up from Borova down to Kreminna. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That's insane.
Look, that's 8 hours.
That's
8 hours ago. This map I got from 8 hours ago, and they're literally just pounding the shit out of it.
We did an update on Lyman this morning. That was the story this morning on our radio show, right? So and it was like they have it surrounded, and it looks like they'll be able to take it back. So.
Well, the good news is that the sad part for Alex and your countrymen is that unfortunately that's been annexed. So what I thought we'd do is we would annex parts of Russia together. We might as well. Want you to know that I've already taken Moscow.
Can I borrow it for a second?
Yeah, what do you want? Which part do you want Moscow for a bit? What do you need? What do you want? You tell me. Do you want Volgograd? Do you want Tomsk, Omsk? Do you want Altai Krai? I hear Krasnoyarsk is really nice this time of year as well.
I'm trying to find one I can say so I can take
Locke's shopping by what he can sound out.
Can I have perm?
You take
Let's give
Magadan.
Sakhalin to Japan.
What's that?
Sakhalin, the island, give it back to Japan.
Okay, Sakhalin goes back to Japan just because we're being nice to Japan now. Okay, that's great. I like that too. We could probably give portions of the like Baracha. We could give back to the Chinese.
Yes.
There's a place here called Jewish. If I'm not mistaken.
I can say Omsk.
Omsk, you can say. I mean, there's a lot that we can divvy up here just between each other, right? If Putin can do it, why can't we? Like, I don't see any reason why. And listen, Trump said he declassified like millions of documents in his head. So I'm just considering the referendum vote good in my own head. And that means we now own Russia.
Yeah, well, our Twitter polls will serve as official, right?
Yeah, let me fake the poll. Yeah, okay.
The thing,
Yes.
what I love about
Perfect.
Alex,
done.
what I enjoy the most about some of the coverage that we're getting, Alex, is when they're relaying these stories, there's always this attempt by the newscaster to deliver the news and not have an opinion or sound like you have any idea, any sort of preconceived idea about what's going on. So there's this sort of neutral presentation, but the stories are crazy. Like, he just annexed parts of Ukraine that he thought he deserved, right?
Yeah.
So the story's fucking ridiculous. But then they've got like shots of of images to correspond with the story, and there's always this one or two moments where like they'll pan over the crowd and you can just tell that the people in the audience know it's complete bullshit, and they're like right, like you can, even the people that are in the room are trying to hide the fact that him and like Putler in front of them is just a complete idiot by just assuming that he's just going to take control. There's this one woman, and you can see her eyes kind of rolling, like, and I'm like, they can't even hold it together on their end. Right?
Yeah. Did you see one guy?
Complete bullshit.
Yeah, I got it
Did
for
you
you.
see one guy falling asleep?
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh yeah, we won. 96% support. We're moving around.
I vote yes.
This is a video Alex sent me from one of the polling stations. I want you to watch the lady go back and forth and grab ballots and literally just hammer them into.
What's the other one doing?
Box. Look at this.
Picking her nose.
Look at this.
I think this woman in front was supposed to actually hide the camera, but
yeah, she was doing a great job picking her nose.
Stand in front of camera. They'll never see us.
I'm just reflecting.
I'm thinking how much.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get to the other news out of Ukraine, which involves Elon Musk, who apparently lost his fucking mind this morning. This is a tweet that Elon put up. Did you not see this, dude? This is fucking incredible.
We talked about his robot.
He puts out a peace plan today. Put out a peace plan for Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine-Russia peace. Because this is what a guy who graduated from McMaster, who somehow figured out a way to swindle people into making robots. Apparently, he's in fucking international espionage now.
Cleveland steamers.
In government foreign relations. Redo elections of annexed regions under UN supervision. Russia leaves if that's the will of the people. Okay. Crimea, formerly part of Russia. It has been since 1783 until Khrushchev's mistake. Water supply to Crimea assured. Ukraine remains neutral. Yes, no. No surprise to you, the no vote went way high. And then all of a sudden, someone was like, how long will it take for bots to get a hold of this? And sure enough, he's like, indeed, biggest bot attack I've ever seen. No, it was just like the most unpopular tweet anybody has ever put out. And to the point where, Alex, you responded to that and basically told him to go fuck himself. Like, and I found it fascinating because you weren't the only guy, and I don't speak Ukrainian, but this to me is basically, my friend Rex Chapman said this, I'm going to steal it from him today. I don't speak Ukrainian, but this is basically Zelensky calling Elon Musk a pussy. He tweets, which Elon Musk do you like more? This is from like an hour ago. One who supports Ukraine, one who supports Russia.
Yeah.
And didn't he deploy Starlink and stuff for the military out in Ukraine? Like, what's he doing?
Playing both sides, dude. He's playing both sides. What do you make of that, Al? What do you make of that whole thing?
Well, what would he say if a Russian soldier with a weapon comes to his house, takes a part of his home, says, yes, I vote that this is my place and I'm going to live here? What would you say? Would you say, let's redo the referendum?
Listen, I'll stay in the doghouse, but you got to give me clean water.
Which Terminator? Which Terminator was it where they went to kill the creator of Skynet? Should we be having that conversation right now?
We'll see you next week, folks, on the Dean Blundell channel on YouTube.
Yeah, we're not going to kill anybody. He's clearly joking. He's clearly talking about a movie. He's not being serious.
Sort of.
Everybody can
sort of kidding.
Oh, this is going to be fun. So in the big scheme of things, though, like at first you think the guy's like super Ukraine. He gives you all the Starlink stuff. He's like sending it in for free, boatloads of shit. He's like, take it, go ahead. I'm here for Ukraine, Slava Ukraine, all of a sudden. And then out of nowhere, he jumps into the mix and he asks for a negotiation. And then the Pope jumps into the mix and he asks for negotiation. And I'm thinking to myself, who got to them? Who got to Elon Musk? Who got to the Pope? Like which one? And so in my mind, Alex, correct me if I'm wrong, that's Putin on the phone to these guys going, listen, we are getting shoveled into the ground faster than fucking compost. Can you help us out? Because if you don't, we're fucked. Is that not probably what's going on here? Because Elon Musk was like full like Slava Ukraine. Before that, the Pope was like Slava Ukraine, but I can't get there because my knee is fucking killing me. I can't.
Well, he's got another post, which is even more stupid. He was like, in another post, Elon says that, oh, look, Russia is doing mobilization and they will mobilize so many millions of soldiers. And this is what Ukraine cannot stand because Ukraine has three times less population. That is such bullshit.
Yeah,
he really doesn't have any clue about what. Yeah, this is the one.
Russia is doing partial mobilization. They go full war. Mobilization of Crimea is at risk. Death on both sides will be devastating. Russia has 3 times the population of Ukraine, so victory for Ukraine is unlikely in total war. Okay, because that's what we've seen so far. It's just been an ass kicking for fuck's sakes. If you care about the people of Ukraine, seek peace. That's a lie. Alexei Goncharenko, who I believe is a government official, he's like, hey, bud, China has 3 times the population of the U.S. What's your advice to them? And then he did a poll, which I thought was really interesting too. And the poll was really stupid. Let's try this then, because he was getting ratioed on Twitter. Let's try this. The will of the people who live in the Donbass and Crimea should decide whether they're part of Russia or Ukraine. Yes or no? That is such a fucking gimme thing to say and a great way to pass the buck, is it not?
Yeah, it is another bullshit again. Same thing, is part of his home is taken.
Yeah.
What kind of votes? This is our land. This has been and it will be our land.
Why is he weighing in? Does he have a stake in this? Like I don't understand.
No one does.
Why somebody? I mean, the Pope, I get. Elon Musk, shut up.
Maybe he's just provoking the people. I don't know. I don't see any other.
Well, that's why I think like someone from inside Russia probably gave both of those guys a call, and they're like, "We're in the meat grinder. Can you guys help us out? Just like beg for forgiveness or something." Does that not make sense to you?
Yeah, but back to Russia. Since September 6th, that's when the main counter-offensive began in Kharkiv. So it's been just 27 days since then. And by the way, the number of killed Russian soldiers as of September 6th, the official Ukrainian information, was 50,000. Now it's 60,000. So in those 26 days, 10,000 Russian soldiers dead. Less than a month. Wow. Lots of territory regained by Ukrainians. And I've been following and reading specifically Russian military bloggers. I have like 20 of them in my Telegram, and I read them every day. This is, for me, this is the main source of information now, because Ukrainian media are silent about what is going on. So I find out really from the enemies bloggers.
Mill bloggers. Yeah.
Yes,
The mill bloggers,
mill
right?
bloggers.
Yeah. I started reading mill blogger stuff too, because you can translate that shit. Google's great. You can just like hit Google Translate.
There's a guy,
and they're scared.
Sorry. Yeah, there's a guy on Twitter. His name is Dmitry. He is doing translations. Word translated, I guess. This is his domain. Word translated for English. But the thing is that since I've been following them I've been following them for months, but I specifically looked at every day since September 6th. Within the past 3 days, actually. 3 days, yeah. First, second, and today is the third day. It's been real panic. It's a panic. They're just starting to argue between themselves. They are starting to actually asking questions to the authorities, which in a hierarchical state like Russia has always been impossible. You just follow what they say. They are the rulers, they know best. Now they started asking questions, all of them. There's been like a panic, there's been a real agony starting. And I really enjoy reading that.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of shifts on a lot of different levels with respect to how this is progressing. I mean, we touched on it a little bit with President Zelensky as well. And like with the fame and the notoriety and the respect that's risen for him, that I think he's done a really good job of negotiating those waters, and not just in Ukraine, but also internationally. I think he's done a great job of playing and pulling those strings, those puppet strings. The thing that makes this conversation difficult from a shouldn't we let them decide and is that you're dealing with a tyrant, and I don't understand why that's lost on somebody like the Pope. Like, when you put out a statement, I understand that maybe you're trying to put your best foot forward and you're trying to save lives, and I understand, but there's a point where we have to be honest with ourselves. You're not going to negotiate with this man. He's a lunatic. Putler is a lunatic. So it takes all the conversation about, like, shove that pole up your ass, Elon. Like, there's no starting point here. The only way that this is unfortunate, but I think,
well, and it also,
fly him to Ukraine, get him to spend some time.
Totally. And you're 100% right. You know what he did is he introduced the idea, which I thought was fucking gross. Same thing with the Pope. Fuck the Pope. Fuck that whole thing. I mean, fuck religion. Fuck organized religion. Fuck a guy that tells you that you're supposed to do something and gay people can't get married. Fuck them all. But I think the reason why both of those cats kind of bled into the whole thing today, because their opinion isn't warranted or wanted. It doesn't matter. There's a war. A country invaded another country. It's terrorism. It's butchery. It's genocide. It's all those things. And if that was the country, they'd be going like this, hey, that's too much. But it's not. It's Russia. And Russia is seen as the home of Orthodox Christianity. And so the Pope's like, I don't want to ruffle any feathers. That Kirill guy seems important. What they don't understand is it has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with anything. It's got nothing to do with anything other than the Ukrainian people having to live in servitude in a certain part of their country under Russian rule for the last 8 fucking years. And it's not just about now. It's not just about 6 months ago or 7 months ago when they decided to start bombing those beautiful people out of their homes and existences and businesses and killing children and women at a record pace. It wasn't just that. Like, if that in itself was just what we were talking about, it should be enough for the leader of the Catholic Church to go, you guys are doing something terroristic, get the fuck out. But it's not. And a guy like Elon Musk, you know why he chimed in? He chimed in because he wants to put himself at the center of attention, or he's being compromised by something that has to do with Russia. And so what he's doing is trying to strike a tone. But what it does is it completely demoralizes and minimizes the effort of the Ukrainian people over the past 8 fucking months and what has been done to them. That's how I look at this whole thing. And there's an old adage too, like if you've got no fucking vested interest, shut the fuck up. Like, shut up. We talked to Alex because Alex there, and we want him to tell us what's going on. We want an unfettered view into what's happening. We don't want rose-colored glasses. We want to be able to convince people that there's a man in Ukraine keeping an eye on his people. We have not talked about religion. We have not talked about battalion groups. We've not talked about ideologies. We haven't talked about any of that stuff. We've talked about the human cost and the human toll. And for both of those guys to ignore it makes me fucking sick. And I can't imagine being you seeing the Pope weigh in on that from a neutral position, or a guy like Elon Musk, because there is nothing neutral about what's been going on to you and your people, Alex. Nothing.
Right. You just said it so brilliantly. I have nothing to add.
All right. Well, see you later. Anyway, dude, I'm just happy to see it today, and I wanted to bring you in real quick to kind of update people. I wanted to show people that you shit posted the Pope, which was fun.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Well, didn't you shit post Elon Musk? Didn't you say something?
Oh, yeah.
I had no idea you were so dumb.
Yeah, I said it's bullshit. That's just bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, he shit posted everybody today. He's going after the world's richest guy, the world's most important religious figure. And I'm right there with him. I'm posting these in a post later on this afternoon. Hey, my friend Alex is coming for the Pope. Watch out. But Alex, listen, we appreciate you and really grateful to see you today. Thankful to have you on the show, and thankful that you could give us an update. I know it's late there. I try not to keep you on too long because you are so kind and so generous with your time. But just great to see you and great to have a laugh. And by the way, good news. I don't know if you know this. Sochi's yours. You won it in the referendum.
Nice.
Good. Yeah.
Look at that.
Can I have Omsk?
Yeah.
I want
98%,
98%, 99,
98.
You won.
112.
Yes.
I want that is it Kamchatka?
Kamchatka?
I want that. Yeah, they got good seafood there. Like they got fresh seafood. I'm gonna take that one.
Yeah, look at what Alex gets. He gets Sochi. He's in charge of Sochi now. I have a thing for St. Petersburg. I got to be honest with you. I might take St. Petersburg and Russia because it's close to Finland. I hear the shopping and the restaurants there are absolutely incredible.
Good.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to see you.
Great to see you, Alex.
Thanks so much.
We'll
talk to you soon.
My friend.
Take care. There's Alex De Rebeckoff. Follow him on Twitter at De Rebeckoff. By the way, he is just a super guy. Just one of the best people you'll ever meet. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine like Biden just saying one day, "Hey guys, we took a vote. We're taking Newfoundland. We're taking Nova Scotia and PEI and parts of Quebec."
Parts of Quebec. Yeah.
It's just it's insane, and that's why. I mean, I understand that. I think what's happening right now, Elon Musk's involvement, it's kind of like Dennis Rodman saying he's going to fly to North Korea, right? Like that it's exact same thing. These two idiots should stay out of it, and you just think you're more important than you are. You can't negotiate with these. This guy is a lunatic. He's insane. There's no starting point there.
No.
Right? Send them guns to protect themselves, and let's sort it out after the fact. The Pope maybe wants to bring the temperature down. Well, I'll maybe throw that out there from the perspective of there is a serious concern that this is going to escalate to a nuclear point, right? I mean, that's where we're at, right? I mean,
how about
that's
this?
The legitimacy of where we're at with this war.
Yeah,
Pope's having a hard time talking about Russia because they're committing genocide. And so if he comes out and he's like, "Hey, it's not something the Catholic Church would ever do," everybody's going to start going, "Hello, residential schools, the Crusades. Want to have a chat about genocide? You want to talk about it? Want to have a little quick quick
Want to have a little Spanish Inquisition here?
Yeah, a little Spanish Inquisition for that ass. I mean, it's just so hypocritical about the nature of what's going on over there. But you're right. I mean, the Elon Musk thing is fascinating, and it comes on the heels of him like announcing a new humanoid robot. Did you guys see this shit?
Yeah. That's part of the reason why I brought my Skynet comment. That's part of the reason why. I mean, at least it should be. At least we should table the conversation. Yeah. I know it might get us booted off of YouTube again, but at least it needs to be discussed. Let's just get in front of it right now.
Maybe it's a sales pitch. He's been watching the news and watching all the videos of the Russian soldiers, the conscripts. Maybe he's like, well, maybe I'll just give you robots. Fuck.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'm not far off. Like I was thinking about it. I was driving around in my 7-year-old car the other day, paid for. Not going to buy another car. My 7-year-old vehicle, and I'm like, no one can find me in this car. I don't have OnStar. I got nothing. It's all mechanical. It's gas powered. I'm like, no one can find me in this. And I'm like, and I see all these Teslas zooming by me, zoom, 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 and I'm like. Everyone knows where you are all the time. I can go do all kinds of stuff. And then I started thinking about this new AI robot that he just announced the other day. By the way, it looks ridiculous. Doesn't even look like it's just like fucking, okay, well, what is this? It's just and it just gingerly walked on stage and he's like, it's got a processor and it's like a car, but it's a human. And I'm like, what does it do? And they're like, we don't know yet. It's going to be a couple of years away from us, but it's only going to cost $20,000. And it's like the Cybertruck shit. Remember he came out with the Cybertruck and he's like, it's completely like glass proof. And he took a bat to the sledgehammer and busted up the fucking wall on the side of it. And he's like, ooh, maybe it's not. But my point is that this guy is in it to get all your information. He's not in it to bring you cool stuff. He's in it to fucking trap you into the conveniences of life. And I'm not even a conspiracy guy. But I thought to myself, I'm never going to buy one of his fucking products. Are you kidding me? This guy's insane. I'm not going to, like, I signed up for Starlink. I'm not using Starlink ever. I don't care where I am. I'd rather get a series of carrier pigeons to send people messages than use fucking Starlink because he's got to have something baked in there to be able to control your lifestyle and change your mind and all the other shit. Dude, these cars drive fucking 50 miles an hour into brick walls. They just light on fire out of nowhere. It says it can drive you home. It can't. I mean, you know how many guys I've seen on the Burlington Skyway and on Twitter, pictures of these guys that are like, the car's not going anywhere, like tons. It's fucking serious. Like,
there's Tesla porn now as well.
What do you mean?
There's Tesla porn. People are having sex in the car, filming it while the car is in autonomous mode. And
are you serious?
Yeah.
That's a whole category of porn. I'd watch that.
It's a thing. I read about it this weekend, actually.
Just jot that down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a thing.
Meanwhile,
so you're right. People are just they put their blind trust into this fucking maniac, thinking that he comes on stage. He's just gonna kill you. He just wants your credit card number. He wants your fucking social insurance.
Okay,
and he wants
how harsh is my conversation earlier then?
Not harsh.
You're all on board.
It's just too harsh for YouTube. If we get suspended for talking about NyQuil chicken, we'll get suspended for taking out the leader of Skynet. Just letting you know. Because that's what Skynet is. If you've seen, you guys have seen iRobot, right? Have you seen iRobot?
We're just talking about the movie, everybody.
The possibility of a fictional character maybe being real.
Yeah, not real.
Yes.
In this case, he's real. So we can't talk about that. Yeah, it's a pretty real dude. Went to Queens.
We could talk about writing a sequel to that movie, though. How about that?
Yeah. But, dude, you know how prescient that movie is right now? iRobot?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I think about it all
crazy.
the time. Every time Tesla comes out with a new thing or Boston Dynamics is like, check out this new mechanical dog that shoots lasers out of his asshole.
Things are
I'm like,
terrifying.
I can't even look at it. Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
And everybody's like, ooh, that looks great. But you said that when you got your iPhone and you got Twitter, and now you'd sit and doom scroll for like 8 hours a day, and you're like, I'm trapped. I can't even go outside. Fuck. Which brings me to my announcement. First of all, big announcement. Twitter has an edit button. I tried it today. I don't know if you guys know that. Totally works.
Did you like it?
Who cares?
Hold on. Do I have it? Or did you just get it because you're
I got Twitter Blue.
Is that just iPhone? Oh, the Twitter Blue.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I got Twitter Blue ski.
Yeah,
I don't have that.
I didn't sign up for that either.
Yeah. If you get Twitter Blue, you get to edit your tweets. Big announcement coming up in just a second. And the tweets that you get to edit also have a trail of the tweets that you corrected. So if you're thinking of coming in hot with a racist tweet just to see if it works, don't do it.
Yeah, Facebook's had that for a while. You've been able to edit your posts on Facebook, and I don't think a lot of people realize there's an edit history button, and you can read every single thing that the person said.
Dude, everything.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. Twitter, this is from TechCrunch. Twitter is rolling out the ability to edit tweets. Twitter Blue subscribers in Canada, Australia, New Zealand. The social network announcement on Monday just started today here. Company said the edit button is rolling out to Blue subscribers in the U.S. soon, but we're starting with Canada, Australia, New Zealand, which is cool. So we're one of the first 3. Twitter Blue subscribers in these countries can now edit their tweet for up to 30 minutes after posting it. Users can only edit their tweet 5 times within this 30-minute period. Listen, if you can't get it right in 30 minutes 5 times, you probably should get off Twitter.
Stop drinking. Log off.
It's possible that Twitter introduced these limits to stop people from abusing the feature by changing content drastically while still giving users enough time to correct typos or add hashtags. Once you edit a tweet, it will display a timestamp showing when the tweet was edited. I'll show you that right now on my tweet. You can see it right here, gentlemen. You can see that last edit at 2:46. I originally put "What's up, ski," and then I edited it to say I just edited my first tweet. This shit's going to come in handy. But it also underneath it shows you the misspelled tweet or the edit that you originally sent out the first time, right? So pretty simple shit. When you're scrolling through your feed, edited tweets will display a little pencil icon next to them. Twitter previously said that it was going to observe how people use the edit button, and these edits might not actually be here for a long period of time. Limited release also gives Twitter the opportunity to see if it actually works or not. So that's why it's only in these few countries. But
can I just throw myself into the I don't give 2 flying fucks about this?
Yeah,
cool. Why do you care so much about editing a tweet?
I don't care. I only got Twitter Blue because it enabled me to post longer videos, longer than 2 minutes, right? That was the only reason why I got Twitter
We get
Blue.
notes all the time about spelling mistakes.
I just delete it and redo the tweet.
Why are you so upset about a spelling mistake? Or I've got an alcoholic dyslexic midget that basically spent 7 years trying to get his grade 12 on my show. And he does all of our posts. Why? Why do I get him to do the posts? Because I know that it drives people insane when he's got words randomly capitalized and backwards.
So brings me to my announcement.
There's a well, hang on before you go on. There's a problem, just so you know, when it comes to this, because Facebook had this issue as well. You can now think about this. You can go on your Twitter tomorrow. And you can, and yeah, some people will go and check the edited tweets to make sure, whatever. But you can make a post now, and you can say, Vladimir Zelensky is a hero and glory to Ukraine and blah, blah, blah. And then in 29 minutes, go back in, edit the tweet to say, I love Vladimir Putin. Putin's my favorite. And all the retweets and likes that you've already had from the first tweet stick with the edited tweet. So you can actually manipulate a message. So I'm going to tell people if you're on Twitter, you have to start paying attention to the edit. And I know people just read headlines; they don't read into shit.
No one's
this one's big. If it says
how much of a
edited,
loser you have to be to do that.
Do you not think Canada Rebel News and Canada Proud are not going to take full fucking advantage of shit like this? Probably. Absolutely, they will, because they have been on Facebook for the last fucking 2 years that Facebook's had this. So,
but Linz,
keep an eye on the edited thing and make sure you guys are checking it out before you go
retweeting Rebel News.
Thousands, if not tens of thousands of bots and Russians.
Mostly.
I'm just saying, be careful when you're on. So, Log, you downplay it all you want, but the reason why we're in the mess we're in is social media, and this is just going to add to that. So, if you're going to be a part of this, be aware of what the problems are that are around you, and find out where the root cause of the fucking issues are, and this is going to be one of them.
I think social media has sped up a process that was already there. I think we were already well on our way down this path. I think social media just helped add fuel to the fire.
Yeah.
I don't
also introduced alternative
social media
realities.
is the cause.
Yeah.
No,
right? Is that fair?
It fuels. Yeah, for sure. You're right.
But it put it all on stilts. Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
This doesn't exist because of social media, but it's certainly as bad. The division, the anger, the pissed offness is certainly bad. Yeah, big time. Which brings me to my announcement. I'm leaving Twitter.
Oh, that's so good for you. That's
good for Twitter.
We're so happy for you.
Oh no, you have no. I am.
Your mental health would be so much better.
Yeah, I'd be. Yeah.
Are you being that guy?
No. I'll tell you.
Are you announcing your departure from social media? It's not a fucking airport, Dean.
Were you gonna write a post and do a video about all the damage that it's done to you? And
no, not at all. I loved it. Actually, I enjoyed it, dude. I give it way better than I get all the time. I dig.
I actually love this.
Ryan and I were talking about this the other day.
Why are you on Twitter?
This month I'll be leaving Twitter. The reason why I'm leaving Twitter is because we are evolving into something else very soon, and I am taking all of our socials and shoving it at that. So I will not have a personal Twitter account. Now, I thought long and hard about this, and here's why. Because for some people, it's currency, blue check marks, which we'll lose. Tens of thousands of followers, 100,000 some odd followers, whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean anything. None of this shit means anything. Twitter doesn't mean anything. It's a window on my phone. It's a fucking alternative reality no one gives a shit about. It's entertainment at best. At worst, it's a divisive piece of shit that just sits on your phone that begs for your attention. And I stopped giving a shit about Twitter months ago, maybe more than that. It was kind of during the convoy where I'm like, what is this thing that captures our brains? Not my brain, other people's brains. And it dawned on me, aha, this is fake. This isn't real. All these people around here jumping around, trying to be the first to a story, trying to be cool, we're still our socials will still exist under a different banner. Can't tell you which it is. Can't tell you what it is. Doesn't even matter. It'll just happen one day. You'll be like, oh, okay. But I'm not going to partake in this shit anymore because I don't care. This weekend, I was like forcing myself to schedule. All I did was schedule tweets. That's all I did. Scheduled this, scheduled that. Then I take off. And I don't even really take part in it anymore. It's all auto-generated. I don't pay attention to it. If I feel like getting into it with an idiot or someone who said something untoward to somebody, I'll get in there. And it's usually my day is spent defending other people. And I could give two fucks anymore. This is not real. You know what's real? Going to a Leaf game, which I did. Going to a Raptor game, which you didn't do on the weekend, which you should have because it was in Edmonton, which I want to get to.
Didn't know they were here.
Which is unbelievable. We'll get to that in just a second. But I have zero desire. I never had a desire to be on Twitter. And I watch how much it means to certain people. Being somebody in an arena that isn't real, that is totally made up, that is duplicity times 10 because you're just presenting this thing. No one can see your misery. No one can see your anger. No one can see you. And people just use it to curate influence. And I've watched all these bots over the past 3, 4, 5 months. And I've done a very serious assessment on whether or not I give a fuck. And it turns out I don't. If I'm going to say something, I'm going to say it here. I'm going to say it in a blog. I might pop on the company accounts and you'll notice when it changes to say something. I don't want to fucking talk to people I don't know. I don't want to talk and I'll definitely support people we do. And we're going to take different people in. We're going to continue to do content. As a matter of fact, we'll do 20 times the content we've done over the past year because of what we've created and what we're going to create and what we're going to launch. But it means that I get to fucking get out of the arena and I get to watch everybody else fight and get angry over the things that we say and do. That's fucking money to me. And I don't have any headspace for this. It doesn't bother me. I don't care. Never did. There was a time where I took it seriously a couple of years ago. I'm like, I got to fight back. I got to do this. No, fuck. I don't care. The reason why I get into engagements and arguments and discussions with people now for one reason only. I dig it. I really enjoy making terrible people eat shit. So now I'm going to do it from a different perch. And I'm going to take myself out of the day-to-day because none of that shit's real. None of it's real. And when I watch people give it away like it is and take it so seriously and have conversations about, you can't, Locke, you open my eyes to this where you're like, what are the millennial Twitter rules? Fuck you. I can do whatever I want. And then I started thinking about those rules, those unwritten rules that people had. And then I started thinking about being sitting in front of this thing on a day-to-day basis, making sure that you keep up with it. We have a plan, which means all that shit's going to go out. and I don't have to partake with the rest of the Lugans. And you know what? That's good for me. That should be good for everybody. I would highly encourage people to do the exact same thing. To be able to speak your truth, get off the fucking format, use it to be able to get your shit into the atmosphere, and then fucking walk away from it, because it literally doesn't matter. Like, none of the things people tweet at me about when I got fired, or, you know, getting the rape case that we had tossed out of jail 10 years ago. I don't care. Like, I really, none of that stuff bothers me at all, to the point where I have given access to my account to literally everybody in the company, because I don't give a fuck. I don't partake in anything ridiculous. I don't tweet anything at people that I can't stand by. And I enjoy the fights that I get into with people, but I pick and choose those based on how many followers that person has, and if this is going to be good for our brand if I do it. None of this shit means anything anymore. So anyway, that's my announcement. Real quick one. We've got a big announcement coming up, but it'll lead to, you know, you going, hey, why is he off Twitter? Because it doesn't mean anything. Nothing.
I want to weigh in here. Linz, can I weigh in?
Yeah, for sure.
So the reason why I get triggered by these conversations is because of the rules that I've been hearing about for years now. And we don't need to get into it. It'll make the story way too long. But my introduction to social media was based on my involvement, with radio. I never had this growing up. I didn't start a Facebook account when I was 12 to connect with my friends. So I was always using this as a tool to communicate with the audience. It was another avenue to reach the listener of the Locker Room and now the Dean Blundell podcast, right? That's what I always viewed this as. If there's any negativity thrown my way at all, if somebody's being a dick, I block them. I block them immediately. I don't need it in my life. That's where you and I are simpatico on this conversation. I'm going to tell you a quick story. So back in Winnipeg at Power 97, we got this thing called a text service. And at the time, I had a BlackBerry and I was just learning about this new fandangled thing called texting. And I think it was one of the first programs in the country for radio, for broadcast application. We were on it. And basically it was a window that allowed us to communicate like email with our audience with their phones. And I remember saying to my co-host at the time, I was doing afternoon drive. I was like, holy shit, dude, this is huge. So now people are going to phone, but we can also text with them. I said to him, we have to make sure we get back to every text. Like every text that comes in during the 4 hours that you and I are on the show, one of the two of us has to touch them back. So I want some kind of a response. And he's like, I'm in. I made that a rule in 2004 when we first got this system. And I have had that rule with social media and texting. It's a personal rule. I didn't force anybody else to do it unless you were on my show with me. Talk to Jimmy. It's a rule. Jimmy does the text in the show in the morning. I'm like, dude, touch everybody back. If it's just a pointless conversation, I get it. No. And we get hundreds of texts during our show. Grant and Jimmy are constantly responding, getting back to people. We got an email from somebody in our company this week that took a seminar. And basically, they wanted to let everybody know in the building how important it was to get back to listeners. I wanted to fucking walk into traffic. I legitimately emailed Grant and Jimmy and I said, this makes me want to fucking walk into traffic. And the thing is, that's what I think is lost on the people in our business that have done this. And now it's been around for years. This is a communication tool. And is it bad for you mentally sometimes? Absolutely, it is. And that's why I block people. But I'm just the thing is, Dean, I know that you're getting off of this, but all that's going to do is create more work for the assholes that work for you who are trying to get a hold of you. So this is a very selfish move, and I'd just like to point that out. I realize you're taking care of yourself, and that's why I'm against this right now. You getting off, because now all I'm going to get is more messages, and I get them almost fucking daily. Hey, Dean blocked me. Can you tell him this?
I get a lot of those.
I understand what you're doing.
Yeah. But
this is a total dick move, and I think it needs to be pointed out by somebody that works with you.
You know what? It's case in point. I'm going through our comment section. We're getting spammed by all these Russian bots, Hail Putin, all this other stuff, talking about black people dropping the N-word. And it's like, yeah, I don't care. I still don't care. Like I literally, like, even this stuff doesn't there's nothing you can do to stop it. There's nothing you can do to make me care about being on Twitter. I don't find that there is any purpose to it. Like, I really don't. There's no, other than giving people the information that we give them on a daily basis, there's really no point to it. What's that? What'd you say?
I'm fucking with you. You know that. I think it's, listen, I understand that you're doing.
Care. Like, it's not me saying, oh, I'm leaving because I can't handle it.
Yeah.
I invite it. I welcome it. I've said it millions of times. Like, this is, I enjoy these.
This conversation triggers me. It triggers me because people always have, for years, have been, let's tell the old guy how to do it. Oh, you can't follow everybody. You can't do this. I'm like, why? What? No, you can't. And then there's rules about how often you're supposed to tweet, how often you're supposed to do Facebook. And then TikTok comes along and they go, oh, you should be putting out 16, 20.
Yeah.
30 fucking posts a day. I'm like, fuck off. Mm-hmm. Like, where? Why?
Yeah, how many?
Who decided that?
That was what people were saying. They were like, dude, you got to put out like 65 to 75 posts a day. I'm like, there's no way we're doing that. And so I had to give it up in our business plan. I had to give it up to somebody so that they could.
Everybody needs to get on this and use it for what the hell it is to them, right? And if you're an individual and you're on it for news, that's up to you. If you have a podcast, you should be promoting your podcast, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get on this thing and you have to use it for what it is. I stopped now. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. And now there's new ones that come along, the TikTok and the Slapnet or whatever the hell it is. I don't go any of that shit. I do those three because those three keep me like, it's 40-hour work week just to fucking like maintain these stupid fucking things. Yeah. And the other thing is, stop worrying about what the rules are. That's the other thing. Just everybody listening, if you're on it for a business, what's the fucking point of you having it? Oh, well, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. You can't seem like you're trying. Oh, fuck off. If you're trying to sell something, sell it. Be a fucking whore. Look at the people that are on this thing and the way they use it all the time. They're fucking whoring their shit all the time. Like, I sent a note to the guys today. The Beaver and the Chipmunk, what is that fucking podcast? The Paul, the Blue Jacket guy. What's their fucking podcast called? The Beaver and the Walrus.
True North Eager No, True North Eager.
You're so good.
Podcast.
Anyway, you're so good to our podcasts on the network.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm sorry.
One with the fucking the guy.
You know the guy.
I'm
with
busy.
The Blue Jacket and the fucking
I'm
walrus.
Busy. That guy, Paul. I love Paul. Fuck. He wants a shop, right? Okay. He goes and puts a shop up, and they start promoting it. They've sold more gear than every other affiliate on the fucking Dean Blundell shop in 24 hours combined, total, because they were pushing it. You know why? Because he's whoring his shit, and he should be. That's exactly what you need to do. Stop fucking worrying about what everybody.
Totally, dude. I'm not worried about any
fucking
of it.
Rules anymore,
dude.
Fuck you and your rules about fucking social
okay,
media.
Berta, calm down.
You know how it's really important. You get back to people that contact you on social media. Oh my god.
No, it's not. It's not important at all. It's not important. If I've learned anything by watching our chat and these fucking losers who tried to bomb us, there's like 80 messages in our chat about N-words and there's something about some guy named Cozy and this other dude. I'm like, I don't care. Like, this is fun for me. This is a good time. I like watching this stuff. But to your point, it's inconsequential at this point of my career and our juncture and what we're doing. We're going to use those socials to whore the shit out of our content, whore the shit out of ourselves, much more than we ever have. But what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to fucking sit there like the rest of these jack-offs do and these loser jackwagons that are like, well, I'm going to go get a fucking, I'm going to go get something out of this guy. I'm going to go get a rise out of that guy. It lacks reason. It lacks reason and accountability. And I don't get it anymore. Maybe it's my age. Maybe it's the fact I'm 49. I'm like, fuck, I don't care. Like, dude, I say what I want, and people are coming here for information now. So the point of me, maybe early days, it was important that I was kind of on there fucking shoving stuff around and trying to get, I don't need it. It's not important to us anymore. We've passed that point where there are people out there looking for attention. We get attention already. We get tons of attention. We get tons of attention because of the articles that we put out, because we actually help people do content, because we're interested in the business of humanity. We want people to have good information. That's all this is. And that'll go whether or not I'm on Twitter or not. But I'll tell you what we're going to do. We still have all of our accounts, and we're going to repurpose those, and we are going to be a fire hose of content at that point. And we're going to be a fire hose of selling shit. To your point, we're going to be insufferable on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of those things. You won't be able to get away from us. But when it comes to the day-to-day chintzy shit, I'm not interested.
I'm going to block all your accounts.
I would too. I
already do.
I had James on the show last week, and he's like, can you get locked to unblock me? That'd be great. I'm like, no promises.
Okay, here's the thing. The two of us, James and I, had immediately, and I knew it from the day I was on the podcast with him, that I knew that the two of us didn't necessarily see eye to eye, right? How much control do I have over that?
None.
Zero, right?
Your response is the only thing you can control.
Absolutely. And over time, that tension just built. And he caused me a great deal of angst. So I removed that from my life by blocking him on my phone, on email, and every form of social media that I knew he had. Now, I don't have James in my life. And James is probably...
joins us now.
That's good. It's probably been healthy for you too, James. Is it not?
I'm still trying to figure out why you don't like me, Lachlan.
See, this is exactly.
It's gonna take more than 9 minutes.
This is exactly why I blocked you, because you somehow need this. You need something from me, and I can't provide that for you, James.
I don't think he cares anymore. I really don't.
You know why I did this just now? Because I wanted to hear Ryan and Dean laugh their asses off.
and it was well timed. It was.
Yeah,
see, but we're all in as producers, so we can see people come in the green room. Lachlan doesn't log in as a producer, so he doesn't know when people are actually waiting in the back. And you should, if you rewind this about 2 minutes and you see him pop up, you can see Dean and our eyes lit up.
There you go. Yeah.
I don't mean to hijack your show.
No,
I love you, Lachlan. You can unblock me anytime you want, brother. Okay. I do.
Well, that's
like
it.
This is not a mutual. This is not a mutual dislike. This is a
look at, and he's got his daughter behind him. You're gonna have to unblock him now, dude.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like
look at this family thing.
Probably won't. I probably won't.
Look at, makes him so sad. Makes his daughter sad. You can just unblock him for a minute. See how it goes. See how it goes. You don't have to. Like,
I already know where this goes. I already know. He'll have a manic moment on a Saturday night, and I'll get 42 messages in my DM.
No, he doesn't do that anymore. Dude is like on the straight and narrow. He's off all the drugs. He doesn't hoop meth anymore. None of that stuff.
All right.
He's not mainlining mushrooms.
Are you off all the Adderall?
I am. That's the most recent one off my back is the Adderall. Yeah, that's done.
Yeah. He's making money moves, dude. Like his content is soaring. He's like one of our biggest podcasts in the network.
And you know what? It was probably me blocking you that got you to that point. I'm going to take fucking credit for it.
He's had
I'm
NyQuil chicken
kidding.
4 times this week, but that's another story. But
No, it was probably, yeah, you're right. Because I was just like, listen, I got to stop wasting my time with grumpy old men. So I'm going to just do better content.
Exactly. That's it. You have a reason, and that's good. That's your reason. I had my reason. That needs to be what it is.
You guys all cooled down. Everybody got better. Like Locke's better. You're better. Everybody's happy.
I'm not
Everybody's
better. I'm fucking worse.
yeah, he is.
I don't know why
he
you would
has gotten
put
worse.
that on me. You were trying to talk me into rekindling a relationship I've recently cut on Sunday. What are you talking about?
Here's Paulie. Here's the blue jacket guy. He wants to talk to you about whoring his merch too. Go
Actually,
ahead,
hang on, Lachlan. This is
Or your
Paul.
merch.
I'll whore
Put
that out.
Paul's merch. Put a picture of his merch up.
Paul from the Moose
It's
Show.
Mr. Grizzly.
Moose and Beaver Show.
Mr. Grizzly.
Okay, all right. Where's the walrus? Is he not here today?
Monday, Wednesdays, and
And the
Fridays.
Eggman.
All right.
Yeah. Now,
The
anybody.
beaver.
So, do you want me to bring?
He's busy.
I can bring anybody else. Do you want me to bring a few other people here? You have a list of grievances with?
Well,
Anybody?
fuck, why not we bring Stone Seawitch or whatever the fuck her name is, who I thought was James. Just based on the tone of, I blocked her too.
Can we do
Hilarious.
that? Can we do that real quick? Turn your. Let me just turn
Who's
Paulie's stuff
someone's?
down real quick.
No, it's not Paul. I think it's James.
Yeah, it is. No, it's
Oh, it's
Paulie. It's
mine.
coming through the speakers. Yeah.
Right.
Can we just clear that up? Are you Stone Sea Witch, James, or not? Yes or no?
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not. No.
Okay.
Her name's
He is not.
Rhiannon or something.
And she's actually talking,
Yes.
I believe, in the comments while James is here, so we can prove this.
My hands
You
are
can
here.
hold your hands
I
up,
can't-
and there she
I
is.
can't see any of it because I've got
There
it
you go.
blocked.
Okay, now we got 3 people on the show that you don't like. Stone Sea Witch saying I love you, Lachlan. We got Paulie here saying he loves you.
Hold
we got
on, I didn't
James
say
here
I didn't
saying
like
love
Paul.
you. I heard something like that. You're like, the guy's an asshole. He sells more merch than him. Fuck you. Something like that.
It was
No.
very jealous. It was like had a jealous tinge to it in that text
I
message,
was
didn't
Paul.
it?
This had nothing to do with. I was making a point about all the other affiliates not selling any gear, and I used you as an example.
You know, I
because
asked
you
to
guys
ask
are
you how much
pouring your
merch I
gear.
sold. Because
You
a girl
sold
sent me
one
a picture of her in a black belt shirt, and then I asked Dean to ask you how much I sold, and he's like, "Yeah," he says, "You just sold a mug." I just saw a picture of her with my shirt on.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, wait.
Oh,
We're going
she's
to bring one
pirating
other
it.
person in
Oh,
that you have a
now we're
problem
in
with.
trouble.
Rook. Also, another guy you hate, Chris Rook.
Okay.
Go ahead, Chris. You
Yeah.
have a problem.
Rook, I don't hate
I'm
Rook.
here
I
for
just
two- I'm
hate
here
his
for 2 minutes.
generation.
I'm here
He
for 2
did.
minutes because, as Dean knows, we're super busy behind the scenes doing what he was alluding to earlier.
Yes.
Bringing James on was one of the funniest moments I think that has ever happened on this show.
I brought my
Because
cell
I
phone.
came
I
on
literally
to say
hijacked
that
the show.
because I tell you, there aren't many things in this world that'll make Lachlan shut the fuck up, and that one shut his mouth real quick. He was like this.
I wasn't.
You did. The look on your face was like,
He was on one of his Lachlan rants that is never. He's
You
not
can't move
accountable
him.
for them, and then
No.
he was
Yeah.
accountable for that one.
yeah,
Rook,
oh,
I
yeah.
was ready to get. I was all ready for Dean to fire me for the 3rd time because I was like, I'm gonna just do it.
The comedic timing, that was incredible. That's all I gotta say.
That's all.
That was
Yeah,
great.
Lynn's
So
did.
good.
I didn't-
Time out
Dude,
very
I
well.
froze because I saw James's beautiful bald head and his like furry face, and Locke's going in on him. He's like, "Fuck James, I hate that cocksucker. Fuck Paul, the blue jacket guy.
I
He
never
needed a bag
fucking
of shit."
said
Yeah, you
And
did.
then
any
you're
of
Yeah.
like,
this.
Chris,
You did.
I'm pretty sure Chris Rook is an asshole too. Something like
I heard that.
I can remember.
I heard
And all of
that.
a sudden,
That's
boom, everybody shows up. And the Stone
Yep.
Sea Witch, she tells you she loves you. It might be time for this. Might be a bit of an emotional intervention for you, Locke. That might be it. Might be time to.
Everybody's
put down
here
the
just for
anger
you,
and
buddy.
pick up the
I'll
love,
tell you
baby.
what.
We're here
I'll
because
tell
we love
what.
you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to do tonight, just for you guys,
What's up,
just
brother?
for the 5 of you. I'm going to go into my fridge.
Mhm.
I'm going to get a couple of beer, and I'm gonna sit and contemplate it in my basement.
So
Good.
just like every other.
I might even get.
Isn't
to
that
6
just
or 8
every
beers.
night?
Can you
Make
live?
sure
Can you
film
live
the
tweet
porn
that
to make sure
process?
it's not connected to the car.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Just make sure that the
Hey,
porno's
that
not
only
on
happened.
into the
That only happened once because my wife doesn't drive my car very often.
Fuck.
Anyway,
so good.
should
And
always-
James joins us.
You got to disconnect your spank phone when you go in the house to jerk it when your wife takes off to go get the groceries. Yeah, always have to. Anyway, Locke, thanks for doing this, and thanks for being a good sport. You go ahead and consider maybe unblocking some of these guys. Maybe.
Okay,
You
know how great my life has been since Lachlan blocked me? It's just great.
See,
Lachlan,
I did it for you, James. I did it for you.
Oh, I know.
That does make sense.
Paul, you want to give us your secret as to how you sold $4 billion worth of merch this weekend?
I don't know. I just tweeted the hell out of it. I said, look, we finally got some shirts. We have one Halloween special and one blue jacket guy. We've got more to come. Please, by all means,
be a whore.
Purchase them.
That was the whole point of this discussion.
All right. Okay, so be a whore. Thank you to Paul. James, you're not being unblocked anytime soon. And Chris, you're still a fucking asshole, apparently, I guess.
And stay tuned on Wednesday when I have Paul on my show on Blackwell. So good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
by the way, I don't know if you missed it, but James interviewed Reality Winner today, the NSA mole, and it was a fucking unbelievable interview. You should go watch it, Blackball, the podcast. Yeah, it was really, really good.
She's great. She's great.
Yeah, she is. She was awesome. You know what was really funny is I was sitting here doing some work, and I've got this screen in front of me as I'm loading in assets, and out of nowhere at 1 o'clock, there's this woman on my screen waving at me. I'm like, oh, hi. So I'm like, hey, I'm Dean. She goes, I'm Reality. I'm like, oh, Reality Winner, huh? Like super famous person that served 5 years in jail for giving up state secrets. And I'm like, oh, yeah, James will be along anytime. She's like, all right.
I thought Texas was 2 hours behind. I fucked that up. I'm like, yeah, noon your time, 2 p.m. Eastern. She's like,
yeah.
Yes. It's like the biggest thing on your show. You did that to Noam Chomsky once too, didn't you?
He did that to me, actually.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. I did it to Steve Paikin once too. I was sitting here and James having Steve Paikin on his show. All of a sudden, there's Steve Paikin, and I'm sitting here picking my nose, and I'm like, oh, hey, how you doing? Nice to see you. Let you go. He goes, are you who I think you are? I go, no. And that was it.
I just cleaned the shitter here.
Anyway.
Oh, and Jonathan K won't do my show anymore because he hates Dean so much. Just
did you? Yeah. Did you see that, John K?
Good. You can stop talking frisbee golf.
Yeah, he's such a fucking loser. It's hard to imagine that we have it on the show.
Painful.
I told you he was a fucking loser. Yeah, the guy from Quillette.
I kind of like Jonathan.
Oh, yeah, he's such a douche, dude. He is such a pussy. No, he defines the word pussy. Like if someone said to me, find a picture of the biggest pussy in the world, I'd be like, let's get a quick mugshot of John K. Let's show people this guy. And James, you're on that side too now, right? Like the dude, like it used to be the bastion of free speech, and now and is like, I hate when people take someone's past and use it against them. That guy shit tweets me about my past like every 5 minutes. And then James is like, you want to come on the show? He's like, I'm never doing anything associated with Dean again. Do you know why? Because I own his little fucking brain. That's why. That's why I own his brain. All those
so
guys
we're not
own all
getting
their
him
brains.
back on?
Not anytime soon, no. Sorry, Jamesy.
My guest list is dwindling every time Dean speaks something.
Nuked by association.
Right.
Anyway, that is Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton, at Lachlan Cross on Twitter. That is Ryan Lindley, the Linz Report. Download his Linz Report at Ryan Lindley on Twitter. You can find him there as well. Blackball, the podcast, Reality Winner. Go download it anywhere you get your fine podcasts. That's James D. Fiore. Same thing on Twitter. Pauly's World, Blue Jacket Guy, Paul Atkinson. Great to see you. True North
Beaver and the Walrus. Buy the merch.
Go, it's Mr. Grizzly and Mr. Platypus or something.
Mr. Beaver.
Yeah.
All I got is
Ryan's
mug.
Mr. Otter.
Mr. Capybara.
Otter. I knew it was something close to a C.
I'm the otter.
All right.
Yeah. And that is Chris Rookie. He's our head of production. Great to see you as well. Guys, that was a lot of fun to finish the show. That was a lot of fun.
Boys.
Thanks. Really appreciate it.
Take it easy, guys.
There you go. The lads, ladies and gentlemen, on a wonderful afternoon to finish off. Nice little team effort. Fuck, I love these guys. Right? Where else you get that from? Nowhere. Guys just pump it in like, hey, it's a professional podcast with hundreds of thousands of downloads. Let's just jump on it and fuck it up. I loved it. I totally loved it. Seeing James' little bald head and then Pauly's little bald head. And I'm like, all these bald heads popping in. Like, it's great because I had the best hair in the whole thing. I'm fucking full on do. Is it white? Yeah, everybody's giving me the finger in the green room. Don't even care right now. You know why? I'm on. It's all me. It's all me. Anyway, big announcement coming up over the next few weeks, probably the next 2-3 weeks. And we'll have some fun with it. Thanks for bearing with us. Really appreciate it. Sorry I sound like shit. It's called the common cold. Remember when we used to get those, by the way? And we were like, oh, just a cold instead of freaking out. Let's get back to that. Yeah, I know COVID's still a thing. I get it. You got to do all that stuff. But let's get back to that time where we were like, I got a cold, no big deal. Like, got to figure it out. You got to be here. Try the meatloaf. Love you, Jen. Epic Quofty. Love you, Pasta Gabe. Love you, Stone Sea Witch. Ashley, you're the best. Raymond, you're awesome. Ellen, Elaine, Clarice, Kathleen, Stacy. Whoo. Thank y'all. Really appreciate it. And sorry about the spam in the comment section today. Sometimes we can control it. Sometimes we can't. Might get suspended again. No one gives a shit. Not around here anyway. Have a great day, everybody. We really appreciate you being here. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter, deanblundell.com. Thanks to our friends and partners over at kivlaw.ca. If you're looking for a great defense attorney, you need one. Was this last year difficult for you from a legal perspective? The best person you could get to represent you in any legal dealing, my friend Rob Kivlikin at kivlaw.ca. Rob Kivlikin, kivlaw.ca. Robert at kivlaw.ca. Kivlaw is defense attorneys that actually speak your language. They help you instead of hurting your chances. They're not in it for a retainer. They're in it to make sure that you understand the legal system. You have every opportunity to keep your freedom, whether you did something you shouldn't, or maybe you're accused of doing something you didn't do. Doesn't matter. All comers are welcome. Make sure you email my friend Robert at kivlaw.ca today for more information. Also, I want to thank our friends at Easy Auto Financial for making this possible as well. If you're looking for a vehicle, you need some financing. Good news. These guys get financing for free. They don't want you to pay for it. What they do is they give you the financing and then they give you the car. And then there's like, hey, go over there, go get it. It's like, oh, here are all the forms too, by the way. They'll fill out all the forms for it. If it wasn't for forms, everybody would just have a car and everybody would be the prime minister. It's the way it works. Forms suck, but these guys take care of everything and they're credit ninjas. So it doesn't matter what your credit rating looks like. They will get you the financing you need and it will not cost you anything because they do not charge. EasyAutoFinancial.ca. And of course, Ed at Ed's Fine Imports. Order his Gitch online. We wear them all the time. So can you. Boxer briefs, pouch in the front, super breathable, lovely to wear on any kind of day. Great on a hot day too, because everything moves around. That pouch, all your stuff fits in there. Everything's fine. Everything rolls around. Life's good. Life's great. In a pair of Gitch. Want a free pair? Gitch3 is your promo code. GITCH and then the number 3. If you type that in when you check out at Ed's Fine Imports, massive online store, clothing for men and boys, by the way. Gentlemen, John Varvatos. They've got casual wear. They got 34 Heritage. They've got all the brands that you know and love. Shoes. They got trinkets. They got those secret wallets, the ones that are unscannable. It's like one of the coolest menswear, kind of kids wear stores you'll ever go to. Clothing for men and boys. Get3 is your promo code. Go to edsfineimports.com today. That's it for us. Have a great day. See you on the other side. That'll be tomorrow, by the way. It's just more dramatic when you say see you on the other side. It's like people care. See you on the other side. It's like you're going to do something. No, I'm not going to. I'm just going to make dinner. Probably get some Neocitrin at me and pass out early tonight. Exciting times. But I hope you have a great day. And we really appreciate you watching, spending some time with us. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.